Welcome back to the Me and Vinnie program. And as promised, joining us now is former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. Thank you, Governor, for joining us.
Hey, Vinnie, how you doing?
Good, good. Now, me, like you, I'm a former prosecutor. I also defended criminals in federal court. Now, the first question I have for you is, why did you do it?
I didn't do what they said I did.
No, not that. Why'd you write this book? The book, Governor. Okay. It's called The Governor. Yeah. Finally, the truth behind the political scandal that continues to rock the nation. Governor, why would you write a book with criminal charges pending? Your attorneys, you're an attorney. You know about the right to remain silent.
I'm an attorney. I'm like you, a former prosecutor who also represented the rights of those accused of things.
Right. So why talk? Didn't you tell every client, don't say anything, just wait till the trial?
That is true, but it's the same answer because I didn't do anything wrong. And Vinnie, when you're an honest person and you've worked hard your whole life and you've done things in a law-abiding way, and you're the governor of Illinois, you've been elected by the people, and they put their trust in you. It's a little bit different when you've been accused of things you didn't do, and you have this tremendous desire from a personal standpoint to tell people you didn't do anything wrong. And then I feel I have an obligation to the people who trusted me, who elected me,
so what
to at least hear from me,
right,
and let them know it ain't what they say. And this is part of the truth in my book, which is the beginning of me letting people know exactly what the facts are.
All right, now let's flash forward. There's going to be a trial here because if you say you didn't do it, right? The prosecutor's not backing down.
Correct.
Right. So there's going to be a trial. So now let's get to the trial. I've seen you on The View. You've been on Howard Stern. You're here with us. You're telling your story. You've written a book about all this. Are you taking the witness stand?
Well, Vinnie, as you know, and you're obviously
that's a yes or no question, counselor.
I got you. Objection. You're an astute lawyer, clearly.
Yes,
and that's obviously
retired now.
It's an operative question. But as you would, I'm sure, advise your client.
First, I would say don't say, but you're talking now is what I'm saying. You're talking now. Will you talk in court?
I think you should stay tuned. We want to keep you guys informed and interested in this story. But let me simply say again, it's an unconventional thing I did, and you're right.
Right,
and I
right.
Think I thought where you were going with your question, Vinnie, was that you were going to ask me, well, what do you think about this? What you wrote in this book and everything you say on The View and on Jimmy Kimmel Live or on CNN or with me and Vinnie.
Can and will be used against you.
Can and will be used in a court of law, but it will not be used against me because the truth I tell you today and the truth I wrote in that book and the truth I'll talk about in 6 months or 8 months or wherever the case may be is the same truth, and it doesn't change. The truth is I've been falsely accused of things I didn't do. The prosecutor mutilated the truth when he said at a press conference when I was locked up in a jail cell that he was stopping a crime spree before it happened.
Before it happened, yeah.
Before it happened.
I remember that.
What does that mean to you, before it happened?
Well, before it happened means it's a tougher case to prove.
Before it happened means it didn't happen.
Right. Well, yes, but there's the attempt also. There's the attempt, and there's the conspiracy and everything else that goes along with it. Now, so you're not going to tell us if you're going to take the stand, but I would think, and I've watched you on all these interviews, I've studied you, and again, thank you so much for doing this. I know you're very busy. You're good. You're good. Okay? So, I mean, people trusted you, and they elected you governor of Illinois when they needed someone they could trust, right? The decision's up to you. It's not up to your lawyer, right? Ultimately, the judge is going to ask you if you want to testify. The judge is going to ask the lawyer what's the best strategy for the case. He's going to ask you, do you want to testify, Governor?
Very good question. I can't wait to tell you the answer.
Do you know the answer already and you're not telling us?
Yeah, deep down, I think I know the answer. We haven't had a chance to sit down, my legal team and I, and really work on the strategy with regard to the.
Yeah, but this is the one question you got to think about all the time.
Actually,
because if you testify at the trial, that becomes the trial. That becomes the trial. And I, just from watching you, what I've gathered from you is that you're a man a man of the people. That's the way you ran, and that's the way you governed. That's the way you see yourself. And probably the way most people in Illinois saw you when they elected you. 12 people in that jury box. Don't you want to make that connection and just talk to them and explain to them everything that's on these tapes that we haven't heard yet?
Well, that goes to the other broader question. Why did I write the book and why do I do these shows? I want to talk to the 12, 13 million people of Illinois, not just 12 people sitting on a jury. I want them to know I didn't do these things
Yeah, but
wrong.
The 12 people in the jury are a little bit more important at this point, Governor.
They
Come on, 20 years in prison.
Well, they certainly have the, they certainly are going to decide what the truth is. There's a time and place to talk about those things, Vinnie. I mean, you're asking a very good question.
I don't think you're coming back, Governor. That's all I'm asking you now. Just come on. Let us know now. Are you going to testify? Because the way you're talking to me, the way you're talking to everyone that's listening right now, is the way you would testify on the witness stand. I
say, Vinnie, the answers lie in those taped conversations. Vinnie.
Don't rely on the tapes. We want to hear from you.
Someone is lying here. The tapes have the truth in it. The accuser,
so what you're saying when you hear everything in its context?
In its context, in its entirety.
Now, do you know everything's on? Because they taped a lot of conversations. Have you heard them all yet?
Hundreds of hours. My lawyers have heard all of them. I've heard several of them. But I cannot tell you because my accuser who used those tapes to charge me like he did and set in motion a chain of events, a super sensational press conference that would inevitably lead to the governor elected by the people being stolen from them. He went to court, put a protective order on those tapes. I can't tell you what comes after. This is effing golden. I'm not giving it to him for nothing. Now, any reasonable person figures the next sentence or two is how much money I want.
Exactly.
That's total baloney. I'd like to tell you exactly what comes next.
But you haven't heard it. But you said it.
I can tell you I know what that conversation was.
But there's a protective order. You can't tell us.
I can tell you generally it had to do with politics. It had to do with helping Illinois.
Well, there's your defense. There's your defense.
A role for me in health care.
There's your defense.